Do not adjust your set. You are not seeing double. Don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you, as always, from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And no, you're not seeing double, and you're not having deja vu. I am building another thrill driver, and you might be saying, Paul has lost his mind. He's doing another thrill driver. You're right. Not about the lost his mind part, but I am doing another thrill driver. You see, the thrill driver came in a set of two, a red one and a white one. I should have done these together. I didn't, but I'm fixing it now by doing a white thrill driver. Let's get to work. Okay, so honestly, this isn't a cheat. It's not supposed to be a cheat, and I'll talk about the fact that this car is red here in a second. It's just that I'm an idiot. I should have done the red and white thrill driver at the same time and put them in one video, but I didn't even think of that. It didn't even cross my mind. And so here we're going to do a second thrill driver. The white one, which is ironic because this car is red and, well, not a thrill driver. Later in life, they made this car just like a stock car. I don't have another thrill driver, so I'm just using this one because it's the exact same casting, just with different logos on it. So yeah, no, I'm not doing something duplicitous here to try and eke out another video or anything like that. It's just that I'm a moron and didn't ever think to do the red and white in one video. But be that as it may, we're gonna do the white one now. And we're going to start with this car. We're going to get it apart just like always, and we'll get to work. So you've recently seen me do all of this on the red thrill driver. So if I go off on some tangents while we're doing this build, forgive me, but, we're just kind of treading over territory we've just passed. So at this point, instead of talking about taking this car apart, what I want to do is I want to just briefly implore you to put in the comments below, what do you think of some of these newer castings I've been doing? Still doing a lot of red lines, but getting up into the 70s now, if you know me, you know that my favorites are the first couple, 2-3 years of Hot Wheels, and not so much this era, but I will admit I've been having fun doing some of these castings, and I want to know what you think about them. And honesty is the best policy here, folks. So, are you liking some of these things, like these flying color cars, these thrill drivers, stuff like that? Are you enjoying these builds? If so, put it in the comments so I know to keep doing them. Otherwise, maybe I'll follow a different path. But, I really do try to cater to whatever it is that you guys like and want. So just let me know down below. Now, as to this car, like I said, the casting is not a thrill driver casting. It's just a stock car, I think it is, and but it's the same car, it's the same casting, just with different logos on it. So instead of going out and trying to chase down a thrill driver for no apparent reason, I'm just using the car that I have, and that's going to be fine. I ordered a new set of decals, just like the first set from Second Chance Redline, except made for the white thrill driver car. And short of that, this car is in pretty solid condition. It's beat up and it's ugly and stuff, but there's not a lot of replacement. I didn't have to replace the interior or the glass or anything like that. All I needed was this casting, some new wheels, and some decals, and we're in business. So we've got this car stripped out and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and throw it into the citrus strip to get the paint off of it, and then we can go ahead and turn this baby white. Okay, so I've told you about the hot swap hubs. I can't rave about them enough. And it really offers the opportunity to make restorations better and gives you a lot more opportunity. And then I recently found out Second Chance Redline offered hub-style wheels without the red line, so you can get some black walls, which is fantastic. But to all the vendors out there, I would say I'd love to see more. I'd love to see some, maybe Johnny Lightning wheels that will work with the hot swap hubs. That would be fabulous. I'd like to see some of the big fat drag slick tires like you get on the Bone Shakers. That would be fabulous. Let me tell you, I understand there's a lot of expense for these guys to make these molds and do all this stuff and get these wheels for us. But I'd be willing to pay more. I'd be willing to order them in bigger packs, whatever it took to have more variety in the wheel department. So, if you're one of the guys who's making wheels, this is what we need. This is what we want. The hot swap hubs have opened this up to us, and we just need the wheels to go with them. So while we're on this subject of wheels, you all know my penchant for the deep dish chrome wheels. What do you think? Am I overdoing that? Should I start to use some of the regular silver painted wheels? Should I mix it up a little bit? What's your opinion? I'm working on another casting. Okay, I'll tell you, it's a grasshopper. I'm doing a grasshopper, okay? And believe it or not, it's a Redline. I didn't expect that, but it is a Redline. And but I had briefly thought it would be better with black walls on there. So I thought about that. What do you think about that? Do you think that it would be wrong to de-redline? Should not have been a Redline? We have that whole thing, should have been a Redline. What about should not have been a Redline? What about that, huh? What about taking the grasshopper and instead of Hot Wheels wheels, putting on some four-wheel drive wheels, some off-road wheels? What do you guys think about that? Is that something you'd like to see me do? Because I'm at a point where I could change it up. Put in the comments down below what you think I should do with the grasshopper, and I'll definitely take that into consideration. But, give me your thoughts on the wheels, the wheel styles, things like that. Tell me what you think. Man, if you're not using Flitz, you're really missing out. It will polish anything. You know the old saying, it'll polish a turd, or you can't polish a turd, or whatever, something like that? I bet Flitz could polish a turd. I really do. I use it on my coins. I use it on my castings. I use it on my windows for the castings. Man, if I need to polish something, I break out the Flitz. This stuff is magic. Now, I'm not saying there is not other good polishes out there. There probably are. But I haven't found anything that does this good of a job with this small amount of effort. I mean, you really don't need to kill yourself to get fabulous results. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just polishing up the windshield, a cotton bud, a little Flitz, get this thing shiny, and that's really all it needs. You know me, though. I like to take it the extra mile, and of course it's going to visit the gauzy. But I'm telling you, if you're on a budget and looking for that one product, Flitz would be the one product that you want. You don't need a separate plastic polish and a separate metal polish and all these other things. just a tube of Flitz, and you're good to go, man. I'm telling you. And yes, I love the look of the gauzy on the glass, but the Flitz does such a good job. You really don't need this step. It just gives it that extra sparkle, and that's why I do it. But it's not something you have to have or have to do. And while we're talking about all sorts of things, well, pretty much anything other than the build that I'm doing, Citrus Strip, come on. Why did you change to this crap? Okay, come on. Give us back that deep, jelly-looking Citrus Strip that was a little bit thinner so the product would drop and sink down into the gel. Give me back the warm liquid goo. My viewers want and loved and miss the warm liquid goo. I miss the warm liquid goo. Please, please, please give it back. So I'm over here at the paint booth, and we're going to go ahead and get this car white. And a lot of times when I'm doing my paint jobs for primer, the decision is made based on the final result. Let me give you an example. If I'm going to paint a car red, and I want it to be a really, really bright red, you'll probably see me put down a white primer. That's going to make that red paint pop. If I want it to be a little deeper, I'll probably use a gray. When I'm painting white, a lot of times I would like to put down a gray primer so that when I'm putting the white paint down, I can see where I'm going, because the white over the white, it makes it a little more difficult. But also sometimes I want that white to be as pristine and as bright as possible, in which case I'll do the extra work and I'll put down the white primer first. I'm going to use the enamel, not enamels, the opaque paints from the Redline Shop. I'm going to use their white paint with hardener in it. It goes on just like their Spectraflame paints. It mixes the same. It's fantastic. I love this stuff. So I'm going to use their white paint to paint this car, and that's going to give me a really nice glossy hard finish to put the decals down on. I have to admit that it really took me a long time before I started using the opaque colors from the Redline Shop. And that was because I had the Tamiya paints in virtually all the colors I could ever want, and they always work really nice. Well, that still stands, but the finish you get out of these Redline Shop opaque colored paints is just glassy smooth. It's fantastic. I love it. And honestly, if they have the color that I want, it is my go-to paint for using opaque colors. And so, yeah, turning to this white was a no-brainer. Okay, so while I get the decals on, it seems like the appropriate time to talk about clear coat. Because we are going to clear coat over these, and I'm wondering if you all saw my video where I reviewed Diecast Graveyard's clear coat offering. I'm pretty impressed. Okay, first of all, you can't beat the price. Second of all, it has given me no problems whatsoever, even over the last Thrill Driver. I put it over these big giant decals. Not a single problem, okay? Now, where did the problem lie with the pinholes I was getting? I really don't know. I just don't know. All I do know is that I haven't had a single problem since I started using Paul's Clear Coat, and I plan to switch. Now, look, if you're hooked on Bright Vision's Clear Coat, I can't say anything bad about it, but I am gonna switch over to Paul's stuff. I like it. It's far more affordable, and it does a great job. I also, like I said in the review, I think it dries a little bit faster, And that's a good thing, especially if you're cranking out cars for videos and stuff like that, or just want to make sure that the finish is really, really hard and dry before you go on the build. It's a very good thing. Anyhow, so that is my plan. Right now, you see I'm just putting the decals on. These were from the Second Chance Redlines on eBay. They have decals for anything that you could possibly want to do. I highly recommend you give them a look. So I've got all the decals on. I'm just going to give them a quick once over with some Walthers Solvaset and make sure they sit down nice and there's no loose edges or anything like that. And then we'll set this aside to dry, and then it's clear coat time. Okay, so I don't like the fully chromed out base. I painted it black, but the bumpers, they need to be chrome. And for that, I'm turning to the Molotow Chrome. Buy it in, don't buy the pen. Buy the big refill. You can put a few drops in a little container, brush paint it on, and you're good to go. And let me tell you, it lasts forever. All right, here it is, Diecast Graveyards Clear Coat. Again, mix it 4-to-1. I have not had any issues with this stuff at all. It is going to be my go-to. And when you buy the set, it's 2 ounces with the clear coat and the hardener for one price, and that one price is cheaper than the bottle of clear coat anywhere else. So this stuff is fantastic. It's my new go-to. I love it, and we're going to put this all over the top of this casting to lock those decals in and give it just a really beautiful glass-like finish. And just like that, we are at the end of the road here. We're going to go ahead and throw this thrill driver together with a couple of screws. It's going to look fantastic, and we'll get a chance to see what we have done. Again, I know we talked about a lot of stuff today that didn't have to do with the thrill driver, because I probably should have done this video with the red one. Well, what can I say? I can't think of everything, okay? You know, come on, give me a break. But maybe, do you like the concept of a 2-for-1, like, you know, cars in pairs, stuff like that? Maybe something like that. And then also, I wanted to talk to you about a mega build. It's been a while since I've done a mega build. I did, the last mega build was the Stir Crazy van. So, what do you think? Is it time for a mega build? And if so, what would you like to see? What kind of a mega build would you like to see? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look and see what this car looks like. There it is, and I love it in the white. It just, I don't know, the white and the red and the blue, the yellow kind of adds that little gold accent to it, you know. I love it. It came out great. Just, it's going to look fantastic next to my red one. And what I need to do now is I need to go and find myself some pieces of the red, white, and blue track that went with the thrill driver set, so I can display the cars on pieces of those tracks. All right, I hope you loved this video. If you did, give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. As always, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Put them down below, as always. Okay, I hope the rest of your day is amazingly wonderful and stupendous. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.